Hey everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So today is the day and I decided to do this in two videos. This is the lid to the toilet seat. If you didn't see me, I made this mold back a little while ago, a week or two ago, and it took like 350 ounces of silicone. This is the lid and then the seat is behind me. So this is almost like doing a charcuterie board because there's several layers to it. There's sanding to it, top coating to it. So I didn't want to do that in like an hour and a half video. So I'm going to do the lid first and then I'll do the toilet seat another day. So this thing holds 85 ounces of resin. I'm not pouring that all at once. And today I'm gonna be using this epoxy resin that now comes in a 2-gallon kit. And it also comes with pumps if you have a hard time with your hands. So that's good. You could get the 2-gallon and not have to lift it up. I decided to do 20 ounces first. I'm gonna let that get tacky. And then I'm going to see all this plethora of stuff I have. So I cut some pine cones in half. I have a few sticks, baby's breath, cattails, acorns, rocks, sand, gravel. I just pulled it all out. I'm gonna play it by ear. I don't really have a plan. I do know that sitting like this, it's upside down. This is the base, that is the front. So I have to work upside down in my head. So like the bottoms of my sticks, I want hidden behind like rocks. So I have to put rock down first, make sure like, yeah, it's gonna be difficult to remember that. I gotta work upside down. So all I'm gonna do today, not today, all I'm gonna do this moment is pour 20 ounces of resin in here and see where that gets me. And probably in like an hour, well, more than an hour. This isn't my fast cure. I'll check it in like 2 hours, 2-3 hours. And if it's tacky, I'm gonna mix up 20 more ounces, put my stuff in with that 20 ounces. Look at that, no bubbles. I ran 20 ounces in this container through my vacuum chamber in this container without splitting it, without a problem in like 5 minutes. All the bubbles were gone. Nothing even to pop, so good start. Okay. So that's my plan. I will see you in a few hours. It's been a few hours, probably 3 hours. It's pretty sticky and stringy. So before I mix up the next 20 ounces, I'm gonna go ahead and place everything. The rocks might fall through, I'm not sure, but being that I'm gonna put a top coat on, it should be okay. So I really don't know what I'm gonna do here, so just to kind of bear with me. Oh no, it's pretty stiff. I think it'll be good. It's definitely not going to go through. 20 more ounces mixed and ready. So what do you think of the design? I didn't know where to go with it, so I just kind of placed some stuff. So I'm starting with 20. If I need to add more tonight, I will. So I'm not sure if this is going to cover the whole thing or not. No, I don't think it is. So I will mix up 20 more. I don't need it all under the resin, but I do want it as close to the resin as possible. See, some of these are pretty far away. I might have to relocate that one. Let me mix up some more resin. So I gave it a couple seconds and I let it all settle, and I rearranged this one here. I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to let this 20 ounces, I'm not going to put another 20 on it because I don't want it to float up. So as it gets tacky tonight, I'm just going to push these ones down before I pour the next 20 because they are going under pretty good. So I don't want to give them a reason to float. So that's my plan. I think it looks pretty good. I won't know till I flip it over and actually see the front. But yeah, I'm just kind of gonna mess around with it for a little while, get all these underneath. And then the second 20 should completely cover all these ones that are sticking up. Okay, give me a couple hours. It's been a couple more hours. It's sticky, so I want to try to get these layers on while it's sticky, although this is the final layer for the evening because it is midnight. I started this project at 7 o'clock at night. So I am not going to get the final 20 ounces on tonight. But I am going to get 60 ounces poured between 7 p.m. and 12 a.m. So that's not too bad for one evening. So I got 60 ounces in here right now. I've only got a few pieces that are sticking up, which I'm not sure if I'll get them under since I won't be waiting around tonight to get them under. Could always clip them off if I have to. That little piece could be clipped off. I have to say though, that vacuum chamber is doing its job because I take it back. There's one tiny little bubble right in the center and it's already cured. I think I might be able to get it out actually. I think it's still soft enough, so I'm gonna play with that, but that's it for the night. I will put the last layer on tomorrow. It is the next morning, so I mixed up 26 more ounces of the resin. I have added my crushed crystal in the back of it. And I just want a little sparkle behind. So I'm gonna see how much of this 26. It should take probably the whole thing. I did not run it through the vacuum chamber because of the dust, the sparkle dust in here. You won't see any bubbles. And yeah, it's gonna take the whole thing. Let me grab my spatula. I could probably fit a little more in there if I wanted it all the way to the top. And I do need to add more because these are not quite underneath. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mix up some more, get it poured in, and then we will demold as soon as it's cured and start on the top coat. Looking pretty good though. It's been a couple of days. I just wanted to make sure that it cured fully because this is really, really heavy. So it took 100 ounces exactly 100 ounces to get all this stuff covered. I wasn't gonna fill it all the way up to this rim because I didn't feel like I needed it that thick, but because I had these acorns in there, it had to go all the way to the rim, so this thing holds 100 ounces. So, oh my gosh, it's like stuck. Let's get it out and see how much sanding we're gonna have to do. I'm so excited to see this. Oh, that's gonna be so nice. So there was a divot in my mold, which I knew, so that definitely has to be fixed, but not much trimming. We could see through it, but it's not shiny. And I see a bubble right there and a bubble right there. There's a few in these little sticks, but it doesn't bother me at all. What do you guys think? Oh my gosh. It's really, well, it's kind of heavy. I'm gonna have to get a good hardware for this thing. So, next step is to sand this all down, and then we're going to do a flood coat on it. Okay, yeah, that's a lot of work. My arm's gonna be hurting me. All right, let's get going. She's all sanded down. I washed it soapy water, got all the dust off, and then I went over everything with 99% alcohol. So I mixed up 4 ounces of my coating resin. This is my tabletop resin because it will gel up quicker and it's made for coating. So that's why I'm going to use this. I don't know that I'm going to use all of it, but I'm just going to pour it on and use my hand to rub it all over the surface. And this is like the most nerve-wracking part of the entire process because you just don't know how many coats you're gonna need. And then you have to sand down between them. So this is the part I do not like if we're doing boards or whatever. It's the same thing. Now the underside I taped up because the underside is done. The underside is already shiny and I don't need to do anything with that. So I'm hoping the tape does not leak. If it does, then I will have to do some fixing somehow. You can also use like liquid latex, Elmer's glue. All right, so that looks pretty. I'm just gonna put a little bit more on top. Then I'm gonna grab my torch That looks gorgeous. So I used about 3.5 ounces. I'm gonna wipe my hand off real quick. And then I'm gonna torch the surface, and I'm gonna kind of babysit it for a while because it's gonna drip. And I just am gonna try to keep the dripping to a minimum by doing that, so I don't have a whole lot of cleanup to do. I've got my ceiling fan off. I'm just gonna pop all the bubbles. Now this will lower the viscosity and start it running too, so you don't want to do it any more than you don't need to. All right, you guys. Let's all pray it only takes the one coat. Look at this, you guys. It's done. It is the same day that I coated this. It's evening now. It's not even late evening. Look, I put the white paper behind it so you can see. Let me move this though. So you can see this. I cannot believe it only took one coat. Thank God it only took one coat. There is nothing wrong with it. So I took all the tape off the back. So that's already shiny because that's the surface. And then I trimmed this edge. I barely had any drips. I wiped it probably about 10 times with my fingers, and then I just walked away. And there was hardly any drips underneath that. That tabletop resin is amazing. That's like 3 ounces of resin to cover that whole thing. What do you think? I almost kind of want to back it in white, but I'm not going to until the seat's done, and we'll see how it looks. Now, if it needs white on the back of both of them, I'm going to do both of them, but I'm not going to do this one by itself. So I can't really show you how it looks clear because you can't really see it. Anyway, thanks for coming in and checking out the toilet seat. This is so cool. I am so happy with it. I am so excited to do the seat. So look for that video in the next week or two because I want to get this thing finished. So I will get you some pictures of this one. Thanks for coming in, you guys. I'm so excited. You guys have a blessed day. See you tomorrow. Bye.